Well, I'd like to thank you all for the many responses. I can't, of course, reply to every one individually, but many of them have a theme running through them about what you might do at this time, what sort of issues might occupy your mind. So I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And then some of you asked me to read some poetry to you. You've referred to poems that I've read years ago, in fact. So I'll go back and pick up one of those and read it to you. I'll do that now. It was Marjorie Pizer's poem on courage. Some of you will remember it. She wrote, "Call on courage when fear engulfs. It is provided in limitless loads. Enough and more than enough for all. Never forget to call on courage in times of crisis, in times of terrible loss. It is the lifeline out of the abyss. When all else fails, call courage to your aid." So that's one poem you could think about. Now, I thought many of you will have your own favourite poem. So perhaps you could look your favourite poem out, just a few lines, and read it to me. Something else I thought you might like to hear, read to some of you years ago, by Morris West, from his writing on the shoes of the fisherman. And he wrote, here it is, "It costs so much to be a full human being that there are very few who have the enlightenment or the courage to pay the price. One has to abandon altogether the search for security and reach out to the risk of living with both arms. One has to embrace the world like a lover. One has to accept pain as a condition for our existence. One has to court doubt and darkness as the cost of knowing. One needs a will stubborn in conflict, but apt always to total acceptance of every consequence of living and dying." That was Morris West's statement, "The Shoes of the Fisherman." So I've said, read some poetry. What else can we do to make the day beautiful? Take down a book that you particularly like and just take 4 or 5 lines from that book and perhaps read that to yourself or read it to me, just 4 or 5 lines, so that we can both say, oh yeah, that's a good statement. I could read you another Marjorie Pizer poem. This is called "Living in the World." In the whole web woven of the being of the world, each of us has a place. A small corner of the tapestry uniquely ours, spun in with our times and those around us. We weave our own corner into its own shape, and all the tiny shapes become the whole. And the whole molds little shapes until all are become part of one another. No matter how small, all are required. No matter how unimportant, all are necessary. Each touches the whole and becomes part of it. Even you, even a small lizard, touches and changes the skirts of the universe. So there's one poem that reminds us of how important each one of us really is, because sometimes we forget. So a poem can help us to remember, or you can sit back for a while and call on a good memory. Memory is critical for all of us at this time. And sometimes our memory runs out of control and we're thinking memories of other places, other times, other people, negative memories. Stop there. We all have good memories. And so we can put together 1 or 2 of those and say, memory is one of the most precious attributes that we have. And so let us try and focus on the good memories. Yes, do that.